Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to talk about self-limiting beliefs. This is because I realized that a lot of times so many challenges migrants experience when they move here, even before they move here, stem from self-limiting beliefs. So we're going to go into what this is about. How do people end up limiting themselves based off their beliefs? I'm gonna even cite personal examples of how I almost missed being a Canadian resident because of self-limiting beliefs. Thank you for all your subscriptions. Thank you for everyone that has subscribed so far. Thank you for viewing. Thank you for your likes and the comments. I really do appreciate it. Self-limiting beliefs. So what are self-limiting beliefs? They are assumptions or perceptions that you have about yourself. Assumptions, perceptions you have about yourself, your life, your job, your career, your family, your partner, and the way the world works. Now, these beliefs are limiting because they hold you back in certain ways from achieving what you're capable of. So you believe this is how it's supposed to run, this is how it's supposed to work. However, there are other ways. There are other ways of achieving that same thing. There are other ways of achieving success. Sometimes you believe you are not enough. You need to get like more things to get certain things done. But sometimes you actually do not need to. But because you believe you need to get some other things before you get certain things done, you are never able to achieve those things based off that belief. So that is what we categorize as self-limiting beliefs. So many times the cliche you hear about immigrants in Canada, they come in here with degrees, foreign credentials, and they are never able to make good use of it. They are based off self-limiting beliefs. So many people put themselves out there with the mind that they're not going to succeed. So if you have that at the back of your mind before you apply for jobs, before you go for interview, you will not produce the best of yourself. If you also believe until I go back to school to get XYZ done, I would never get into the door, that would most likely be your reality. Some other people also believe I can't start a business until I learn, there are all sorts of things you believe if you don't get, you will not be able to achieve what you're capable of. You're already capable of it, but you are holding yourself back based off what you believe you are and the way the world works. Oh yeah, so many times they're all cliches. I remember when I first got into Canada and I couldn't set up a bank account for myself because I was told I had to have a SIN number, I had to have a job before I can open a bank account. So because of that, I never even bothered. I mean, I've already told some people that you can't have a bank account until you have a SIN number or until you start a job. However, it is not true. I mean, I met some other people later that came in as visitors and they were able to get their bank accounts created. I mean, I never knew that existed. It is also lack of information. It is also lack of understanding of how the system works. So if you don't understand how a system works, if you don't understand how the world works, you will limit yourself based on the little information that is available to you. Personally, One of the examples I'm going to cite was when I was going to apply for my permanent residence in PR. So I eventually received permanent residency in the British Columbia Provincial Nominee Program for Skilled Migrants. So I was already here, and I already had like my work permit, and I'd already got a job, so I was thinking of applying for my permanent residence. The federal skilled worker scheme, like, it's going to take a long time, and I mean, I'm already here and I already had a job, and my employers were willing to sponsor me. But I still felt there are certain things I need to be able to get to that point where you get nominated, So out of curiosity, plain curiosity, like, it was just out of curiosity, I opened the account that day. Like, I opened the account just so I know what else I need to get, like what else I need to do to get to the point that I would get invited to apply. That was all. It was just plain curiosity. So I opened the account, filled the form, and got a point. And I did a quick search, Google search, to know the point that would give me the guaranteed invitation to apply points. So I realized I need 20 more points to get to the guaranteed invitation to apply points. In disappointment, I signed out. In fact, I almost deleted my profile immediately. Like, once I signed out, and I was disappointed, and I was frustrated, and I was not happy, something just told me, why do you want to leave the profile going? Like, just delete it. Like, you're not qualified, you're not good enough, just delete it. You need to do some more things to at least get to the guaranteed ITA point. So I'm so sure I placed my cursor on the delete button, but something just told me, why don't you just leave it? I mean, worst case scenario, it would expire. At least you know what you need to do now. I needed to create a West account so I could get my transcript accredited, evaluated to Canadian standard. So I was already making contact in my own country, so I could send a proxy to get my transcript from my alma mater. Like, we were already dealing with that. Like, I was already doing that already. So something just said, well, just leave it. I mean, worst case scenario, it expires, and even you could actually get your West thing done before it expires. So you could just upload it and update it or whatever. Just leave it. So on the second thought, I decided to just, let it be, Worst case scenario, I'll just do it again. So I totally forgot about that while chasing the point. Anyways, however, something happened. Every night before I get to bed, I remember always thinking to myself, like, I'm lucky enough to get a job that a PR holder would have been so happy getting. So, and we've been able to move from our basement suite to a condo apartment already. Like, we are thriving in Canada. We deserve to have a permanent residency status. So all those thoughts just kept coming to my mind, like, we deserve to do this. We deserve to be here. Even people that had been admitted as permanent resident, they are not thriving as much, So I know I kept on telling myself that, and that kind of gave me like comfort, right? But I still felt I was just not good enough. Anyways. So fast forward 2 weeks later, I'd already totally forgotten about the profile I created, is a perfect example of waiting to exhale. I was waiting for it to expire. And I remember that day I was going back home from work and I just decided to check my phone before I hit the road, right? And to my surprise, I received an email ever, like I got invited. It was because I got invited on a profile I almost deleted. Like I already placed my cursor on the delete button. That is exactly how so many people are missing out on opportunities. No wonder the children of Israel walked 40 years for a 40-day journey. I could have deleted that profile and start chasing white goose about, start all over again, and probably missed out on that opportunity because I met up to the cutoff for that draw. I could do it some other time and not meet up to it, but for that particular draw, I met up to the cutoff point. So, self-limiting beliefs. I never knew that it would ever be possible for anyone to get a permanent resident status as a skilled migrant without verifying their transcript. I never had to do it. And, it could have limited me in so many ways. What are those things you believe that are limiting you? What are those? What is the dream you always had? What is that thing you always wanted to achieve? What is stopping you? Could it be some untrue myths? Could it be self-limiting beliefs? Could it be wrong perception about yourself? Could it be your blind spots? Could it be limits on self-limiting beliefs that you are yet to deal with? The best person to give you a chance is you. If you're able to give yourself a chance, the world will not have a choice but to comply. Our brains has been programmed in such a way that it spots trends and patterns and make associations. So we constantly process these streams of information about the world around us and use it to form our beliefs. How have you been raised? What are the beliefs that are limiting you from childhood till now? What are the beliefs that you formed over the years that are playing out right now as your blocks, as your limits? Do you want to start a new venture? You want to start a new business and you feel you're not good enough, you're not qualified enough, you're not experienced enough, or you believe someone else can actually do it better than you? Oh, someone else can do it better than you. Someone else is already doing it. If Rihanna thought about that, she would never have been able to come up with Fenty Beauty. Like a lot of people were already in the cosmetic line, yet she ventured into that same line and she became successful at it. So, do you believe someone else is doing it already and is doing it better than you, and that is why you're not trying? Or I'm too old to do this, or I'm too young to do this. How are you even limiting your own kids? How are you limiting your children? Are you still using the old-fashioned way of training them up, go to school, do this one step at a time before they hit their first $1 million? Do you know that a lot of 13-year-olds are currently working for Google and they're averaging nothing less than $1 million every year? How have you been limiting yourself, your children, your spouse? Do you believe you don't have enough money? That is why. Trust me, I know a lot of people that actually moved into Canada without having a lot of money. Those are self-limiting beliefs. Yes, you need a lot of money, but I know some people that don't have a lot of money and they've been able to migrate as well. What are those things you are telling yourself and are limiting you right now? Is it that you don't have enough time? Thank God for the pandemic that has been able to let us know that it's not the absence of enough time. It's not the absence of time that has limited a lot of people in time past. Like, we had nothing to do. Literally, everybody was at home. Yet most people still did not do anything. Yes, definitely. Some people still did something, but a lot of people still did not do anything. I know at the end of this pandemic period, it is not everyone that will start a new venture, and it's totally fine and okay. But for sure, we know that it is not lack of time that is stopping you. It is not lack of time that is making you stop or not venturing into that new thing. For me, I believe strongly that surviving this pandemic is like the goal, because a lot of people had lost their lives from the COVID pandemic, or the virus itself, from the economic disadvantage caused by the virus. So it's totally fine if you don't come out of this pandemic situation with anything. Coming out alive is more than enough goal for every one of us. However, not having enough time is no longer an excuse. So some people actually says, I don't have enough motivation. I tell myself that a lot of times too. I just feel I need someone to ginger me, give me enough motivation so I'll be able to do what I need to do. But hey, the best person to actually give you the motivation is yourself. Find your purpose, find your why. Build a big dream, have a vision board, have big dreams that are too big for you to be able to sleep. Once you have a big dream and you have a purpose, you will find motivation. That motivation would come. Like someone said, if you don't like your job, get a mortgage. At the end of the day, you would be forced to love your job because you need to pay your mortgage. So you would always find motivation from getting a purpose or getting something that is higher than you are. So my advice to you is, do a blame-free analysis of yourself that would help you identify your limiting beliefs. Do a blame-free analysis. Don't judge yourself. Don't condemn yourself. This is not a time to put yourself down. Your distractors, your enemies are doing more than enough already. And you need to be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself and do a blame-free analysis. If you have a trusted friend that would not judge you, sit down together and talk about it. Time travel to your childhood experience. How have you been raised? What are the beliefs of your parents, of your guardians? What did they teach you about the world? What did they teach you about money? It will surprise you to find out that I know some people that they find it hard to charge for their services because they've been trained to not collect money from strangers. I was shocked to realize that, like, some people, adults in this world today, they are unable to start businesses because of the training they've been brought up with to not collect stuff from money or items from strangers. They are still unable to charge for their what, for their services or for their products. I couldn't believe that. So what have you been trained about money? What have you been trained? What did they teach you about the world? What did they teach you about starting out a business? What have you been trained as a child? Put all of this together and seek help when required. There are lots of therapists or coaches. Thank God the world is a global place now. You don't have one in your locality. Go online, search for coaches. However, be very careful who you share your dreams with. Be very careful who you discuss these things with, because you don't want someone that will take you 10 steps backward. You're trying to move forward in your life. So make sure you're sharing your dreams with someone that has the knowledge, the understanding, the skills, and the ability to help you. It's not every coach out there that is a good fit for you. Find a good fit for your dreams. Find a good fit that would help you get to the next level in your life. It's not everybody that would be able to do that. So you need to do yourself a favor by doing the research. Actually pray about it. I would have said go back to your churches or mosque or something, but be able to discover that it's not enough. And some leaders in religion also have self-limiting beliefs as well. So you need help. If you need help, seek it out. It's okay to seek the counsel of men. I was reading the book of Esther the other day, and I was reading about the great king in that time. He had various men that were counseling him. Because he was king, he gathered wise men around him, and they granted him counsel on the affairs of the state, the affairs of the palace. So great men gather wise men around them to give them counsel. At the end of the day, the end goal is for you to find your purpose, question them, laugh at them. I remember before I started this YouTube channel, I've tried to do it 3 times. Like, this is my 3rd attempt at starting a YouTube channel. So while going through my old phone, I found some of the old videos I made that never made it to the internet. And I started laughing at myself, right? Because I found it ridiculous, actually. Thank God they never made it to the internet. Anyways, find your purpose, question them, laugh at them, formulate new beliefs. It's not enough for you to break your old beliefs. You need to be able to replace them with new ones. Retrain your brain. The brain tends to hold on to old beliefs. However, it can be retrained. What are the techniques whereby you can retrain your brain? Number 1, keep a journal. When I was introduced to journaling, actually, I just started journaling on my own. I never knew it was called journaling. I just know that if I need something, or if I need to achieve something, I was always inspired and moved to write them down. And as a kid, I don't even know what journaling was. I would just write it down and throw it anywhere. But later, I started learning how to keep them, because I realized you need to keep those dreams private. So, but there is one thing I realized. Every and anything I write down to achieve, I end up achieving them at the given time. So later on in life, I realized it's actually a thing, and it's called journaling. Well, journaling is good. It will help you retrain your brain. It will help you achieve your goals faster. Affirm yourself. Speak and write about your new beliefs repeatedly and consistently, preferably at a specific time every day. Get inspirations. Look for examples to follow. Be careful what you watch. Be careful of your speeches, and be careful of the association you engage yourself in. Follow inspirational talks like mine. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have more than enough inspiration to give you, because I know that we all need it. You need authentic review that would help us get to the next level in our lives. Beliefs take a long time to form, and they cannot change overnight, except there is divine intervention. It's very hard for you to change your beliefs overnight or within a year. It is only when there is divine intervention you go from prison to the palace the next day. But when you're doing it yourself, it will take time. So stick with your plan. With time, you begin to experience the change and the life you so desire. I hope you've been able to learn one or two things from my talk today. Please do not forget to subscribe to my channel. I'm also available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Chromecast. Till I come your way another time, bye.